Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And we are in the new year, in real life, and in the game, obviously. And we are about to go to our big pay-per-view, which is Resolution. I think we're at the point of where we began the entire show. I just kind of want to see. I feel like... Was this our very first pay-per-view that we did? I think it is. Resolution. Right back where it came from. So that's kind of cool. We've done 1 year, almost 1 year of the show, and exactly 1 year in the game, which is super cool that we've gone here. We're still really haven't gone far, though. I was really hoping we'd move up, but, we're getting there. Actually, we are moving up a little bit here in our trends and progress. Kind of curious to see where we are. Seems like every time we kind of move forward, we keep on getting a road bump and climbing back up, which is unfortunate. But a lot of that just has to do with those injuries have really, really hit us hard. Yeah, it's a real bummer. All right, so... we have our big pay-per-view in 5 days. Let's go ahead and see what's going on here. Rachel Ellering's mad that we are jobbing her out. We're getting a .02 TV rating, which is good. What's that giving us in revenue? It's about $20K an episode, which is nice. And we'll see what this pay-per-view one does. Let's go ahead and skip over to the next show. Let's see here. Probably more booking complaints. Ryan Nemeth. Apparently Tyler Breeze is ripped. I think I have him on my short list. In case he ever decides that he doesn't want to job out on the lower mid card, I got a place for him. Ooh, Hiroki Goto's hurt. That's kind of a bummer. Angelo Dawson's maybe leaving NXT. Interesting. We will put him on the short list just in case we decide maybe we can use some of those people. And Seth Rollins went back to NXT on a loan for a one-off match. That's cool. All right. So, other than that, nothing else going on here. We got our show tonight. Let's go ahead and get to the show. Let's see what's going on in the backstage. We have a 68% backstage rating. Where we broadcasting is going to be CW for pay-per-view. Let's see what's going on. Got a lot of heat with her selfish behavior. It's her employer. Okay, so... I'm just going to give her a stern warning. She's annoyed. Oh well. And there's an incident with Ellering and Dustin Rhodes. And it was Wrestlers Court. Rachel Ellering was brought to her Wrestlers Court accused of forgetting to shake another worker's hand and probably has to pay, buy drinks for everybody. Okay, so no big deal. We did dip because now Ashley is upset for being selfish and then us telling her not to be. Let's rib. This is probably a bad idea, but let's just see if we can get... that's a little much. Elaborate plot would be 75% upsetting her, otherwise a 55% chance of... Those numbers never make sense to me. Shouldn't that be on the same scale? Shouldn't it be... whatever. Should it... If you have a 75, I guess I get it, but it seems like a really weird way to run that. You would think they would be on the scale of upset to improve, but I guess it's upset or not, and then improve or not. We'll just do a practical joke. Bummer. All right. So that didn't go over. We are going to be... We're only getting 1,700 people for the show. All right, so the impact zone still exists out there, right? We just don't own it. 1,700 people. Yeah. I mean, that would be a sellout. Let's do it. It is a hotbed too, so it might help us. Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere else better. I mean, it'll sell out. We'll lose potential 14 fans. It's interesting because I feel like our last pay-per-view we had like 2,200 people, so that's kind of a bummer. I feel like that was the case at least, but I don't know. All right. Let's go ahead and book Resolution. We got a lot of big things going on in this pay-per-view. We're probably going to be using that whole 120 minutes. Yeah, hopefully it's a good show. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. And we're going to cram it, pack it real tight. I will catch you guys on the other end. All right, we are back. Running. Oh, ow. Let's retry that. All right, we are back, and we are running this show to the absolute limit. 12 segments, 150 minutes. Cannot go over without doing a pre-show or a post-show. We have a whole bunch going on in this show. Let's go ahead and just run it. So we start off very excessively, but it's just time for celebration. This is 1 year of the NWA. Billy Corgan's NWA. I think it's time to get as many people on the roster a shot at this pay-per-view as we could. So, we have a 10-man Battle Royal sold-out stadium as a opener. It's a poor match. It's fine. It's 15 minutes. Flip Gordon wins the NWA Resolution Battle Royal. The final four was Kevin Condren, Jimmy Jacobs, PJ Black. Kevin Condren was the final elimination, and Bull James got the most eliminations over the course of the match. We gave Nakamura a debut in this match, and he got a very good rating for his old school face gimmick. And it got the show to a strong start. It was a work-the-crowd match. It wasn't doing anything. I think a 50 straight D+ isn't horrible, especially for a bunch of lower mid-carders, and, it's a hodgepodge of shit. So... it did good, I think. I like this. This is exactly what I would expect. Nice, fun thing. And it gives everyone an opportunity to be on pay-per-view, which is what I wanted. Almost everybody. We still left some people out just because I just couldn't get enough options unless I wanted, like, Chuck and Trent to fight each other, which I don't at this time. Afterwards, we have sort of the blow-off to this feud between the new communist Lennon Sloan and his old tag team partner Mike Verna, in which Lennon Sloan handily defeats Mike Verna by submission, and kind of finally ends this thing between them. They have good chemistry, obviously, and ultimately Lennon Sloan overpowers Verna, leaves him on the ground, and... yeah, I mean, that's basically it. So Verna loses, and he loses his tag team partner. We'll see if anything comes of this, but they are officially separated. And, could be interesting. There's a couple directions we can go with this. I'm kind of feeling it out right now. Not really sure where I want to go, but have some ideas. But we leave Lennon Sloan as the victor, and Mike Verna, unfortunately, defeated. And we have the X Division women's match, which Ashley Vox has dominated her way to get to. And in fact, actually, wow, oh, look at that. They have great chemistry. That's good to know. It's a decent match. Ashley Vox actually defeats Tessa Blanchard in 11 minutes by submission. Her road to victory, her fury of getting there, apparently enough to propel her to the victory, and she wins the X Division Women's Championship. They're about even in terms of performance, and it got the crowd hotter. And gained some heat for her momentum there, which is good. And knowing that they have good chemistry, we can do some stuff with that. That's good to know. D43 is about right. Seems fine to me. A little bit better here as we're moving up the card. We have a rematch. Cult of Josephus has stolen the tag belts from the Guerrillas of Destiny, and Guerrillas of Destiny get their rematch against the Cult of Josephus and fail. Josephus and crew end up defeating the Guerrillas of Destiny in 11 minutes when Sami Callihan defeats Tama Tonga by pinfall with a curb stomp. They make their first title defense for the tag titles. Sami was really carrying the entire group, with Tama Tonga kind of almost 10 points down from him. Callihan took a stunt bump, got the crowd buzzing. It was definitely overbooked. It was a lot of drama, and then the quest for control started with this. Josephus, I really should probably put Josephus in limited involvement in this match, but oh well. Still, C61, not bad. And of course, that means that the Cult still maintains control of at least the tag belts. They still have the North American belt that is on the line tonight, that Disciple Icarus is holding. And of course, Christopher Daniels is very clearly looking to gun for the world's heavyweight and strip it from Dustin Rhodes. Again, trying to get people on the show. We have an exhibition match. This is actually a cool down match. Just because of the last couple matches were a little overbooked. It's Tenille versus Viper. I just wanted to give them time to work. Tenille defeats Viper in 9 minutes. Not much to say. It's about what we would expect. It's a 43. It's not great, but I wanted to just kind of cool everything down a little bit, give people some energy. We don't really have very long matches going forward, but there's some high-intensity ones, and I want to not burn people out. Obviously, the main event goes like 20 minutes. Dustin can't work for too long, or else he's going to get tired, so we have to kind of keep that in mind. And we go on to our North American Championship match with Brian Pillman versus Disciple Icarus. And in this match, Disciple Icarus defeats Brian Pillman and retains the North American title. He ends up getting a bunch of interference on Pillman as the Cult comes down to the ringside to distract him. In fact, as a ref was turned, trying to throw out Josephus, Sami Callihan hits Pillman in the back with a chair, kind of leaving him to be easily disposed of by Icarus. So they maintain control of the North American Championship. Pillman gets his rematch, loses due to interference, got the crowd hotter, which is good. And of course, we are now continuing both these storylines. And Pillman, we'll have to see. I mean, definitely did not get a fair rematch here, and we'll have to see how he handles that going forward. And afterwards, we have a segment where Pillman, angry, is pounding his fist on the mat in disbelief and anger over the entire thing as the Cult back away, kind of propping Disciple up in the middle as he's holding up his belt and celebrating their basically their championship win. Ooh, lost a little bit of heat, probably because I had Josephus in it. It seems to be if a segment loses heat, apparently it's Josephus's fault. So I should probably keep that in mind. But probably not over between Pillman and Icarus. And obviously the fact that the Cult can get so easily involved to overpower and outnumber him is going to be an issue if Pillman wants to reclaim that belt. And we have our juniors division match with Hangman Page challenging Will Ospreay. And in it has fantastic heat, great build-up that we had, and good wrestling. Hangman Page ultimately defeats Will Ospreay by 2 straight falls, with the final fall happening by pinfall with a roll-up. This was a 2 out of 3s match. Hangman Page wins the junior heavyweight title, takes it from Will Ospreay, and this kind of gives Will Ospreay the thing he needs to now separate from the juniors division and become a real main event contender. So we've now put it on Hangman Page. He's now the junior heavyweight champion. He is the championship. Yes, people are going to be wearing Hangman Page around their waist whenever they win. We're going to convert him into leather. It's a real big plot twist. No, he is the junior heavyweight champion. Will Ospreay kind of gets to move up the division, sort of more of a win for him in a way, even though he lost the belt. But it's a way to kind of get him to move up to fully embrace the main roster, where he should main event roster, which he should be at. Now we have the Founders Champion match between Tim Storm and Nick Aldis on the show that basically began Billy Corgan's NWA a year ago. We come back to where it all started once again with the battered NWA champion of Tim Storm, and the person who brought the NWA into the new era and beyond, Nick Aldis. And in this match, whose winner will determine control of the company, Tim Storm defeats Nick Aldis in 11 minutes by pinfall after using a foreign object. Treachery and distractions abound. Nick Aldis ultimately gets distracted, gets hit by an object, gets pinned, and Tim Storm wins the match against Nick Aldis. So what this means is, according to the Founders Clause, right now, Paul Pinky George III has majority control of the company, something that the Cult of Josephus was warning would be the doom of the NWA. Billy Corgan has had a control wrested from him. His challenger lost and ultimately defeated, and who knows what will happen to the NWA now. The match is not bad. Considering the discrepancy, I think Nick Aldis does a lot of work here to bring it up to a 50. Tim Storm has improved from where he was, and we've at least given him some legitimacy in his wins to get to this point. So that was kind of the whole point of giving him his road to redemption, was build up a little bit more popularity, a little bit more momentum, and allow him to kind of, be happier with this. Now, Aldis, I think we've booked him to pretty much dominate. Nick Aldis kept strong. He still didn't like this match, and we'll have to deal with this. But it needed to happen. So, Nick, you'll get over it or not. But this is where it had to go. So I'm the booker. I make this decision. And Nick, I'm sorry, but this is how it had to go. We have a angle afterwards. Paul Pinky George, who was ringside distracting Nick Aldis, celebrates with Tim Storm as the announcer declares that through the Founders Clause, Tim Storm has been found to be the NWA Founders official champion, and thus Paul Pinky George III now owns majority control in the National Wrestling Alliance. Gained heat, the takeover. Not much else to be said. But very dramatic changes abound in the NWA under a Paul Pinky George III controlled promotion. I mean, he has said in the past that if he had his choice, he would just sell it all as a clip show. So who knows what this is going to be. C+, not bad. we have finally the main event, Dustin Rhodes, the NWA World Champion, versus the avatar of the Cult of Josephus, Christopher Daniels. Has fantastic heat, great build-up. Got the crowd buzzing. It was good wrestling. Dustin Rhodes defeats Christopher Daniels in 17 minutes with a pinfall after a power slam. Josephus accidentally hits Daniels. The distraction fails. All night, the Cult have been manipulating the events and trying to basically use their numbers advantage to maintain control or get control. And this time, finally, third time's the charm, the distractions and the interference actually cost them the win. As Dustin Rhodes, who was maybe on the ropes, maybe looking bad in this encounter, ends up, what should have been the kill shot, ends up missing and hitting Daniels, giving him a chair shot in the head, which then stuns Christopher Daniels, allowing Dustin Rhodes to perform his finisher and ultimately maintain control of the world's heavyweight title. Both of them retiring. Like I said, this was a 20-minute match. Even that was too long, but, you know, what are you going to do? Colt's quest control continues to gain heat. They both do fantastic, with Daniels being a little bit better of the wrestler. Crowd seemed happy. They were buzzing at the end of it. Yeah, I know, Raven. I know. Yes, it was a long match. They'll be fine. And ultimately, we end the show with a nice, heartwarming segment as Cody Rhodes, still injured but not for long, comes out to celebrate Dustin Rhodes' victory, pats the belt on his belly as he's celebrating with his older brother. But you can kind of tell with the camera angles that he seems to be eyeing the belt, and I think Dustin knows it too. That very soon, once Cody comes back, it will be brother versus brother for the title. But for now, they celebrate. Announcing job done by Billy Corgan was pretty weak. So, just so you know, we probably should swap him out for announcing at some point. Maybe get somebody a bit better. All roads lead to mayhem. Storyline has started with this segment as the brothers reunite, but now have a very shiny, very heavy division between the two of them, with both of them contenders for the same title. How will they interact with each other as they come back? We will have to see. But for now, that is the end of NWA Resolution. I think that's pretty well. C60, not bad. We sold out the Sudden Impact Zone with 1,700 people. We increased our popularity. Our highest rating was the Cody Dustin angle by 82, which, by the way, when we have them fight to get against each other, that is going to be freaking gold. Money in the bank, I tell you. Overall, I think very good show. 60's absolutely perfect with where I want to be. I have nothing bad to say, though I do want to see if I can simmer some of these tensions with Nick Aldis here. I want to tell him that he's awesome. Can I do nothing but just Nick Aldis the whole time? Compliment a good performance. Please be happy. I love you. You're fine. You're great. Oh, you can't slap the same word twice. Please. Could you imagine that, though, if Billy Corgan was just in the entire locker room? He was like, all right, guys, great job. Nick, you're awesome. Also, Nick Aldis, God, what a great performance. And God, who else could forget Nick Aldis for such a great performance? All right, guys, hit the shower. Oh, man. Let's see here. Who else do we want? Nobody else was mad or anything. I think we could give Verna a little bit of a bump there. Everyone would be happy. No one did bad. No one was really off their game in any conceivable way. It's just fantastic. All right, we are back. Let's see what our emails are. Probably Nick Aldis walking out. No. Okay, good. Will Ospreay is healing. Buy rate was less than 1. And Raven doesn't like Simon Gotch. Let's see what our pay-per-view... Oh, man, our pay-per-view revenue was only 9,000 from that. Ticket sales were strong. We're still just losing money. Boy, I just don't know what to do in this situation. We just cannot seem to make money. I mean, we should have some momentum, a little bit of momentum. A little bit of momentum, but barely any. We moved up in a ranking, though. But definitely, we are just, man. All right, Nick Aldis is actually okay. He's okay. He's happy as recent booking. So he ended up being okay. You know, he is still annoyed. I'm going to give him a bonus. I just want him to be a little bit happier. Cool. There we go. I'm like, it wouldn't be the end of the world if Nick Aldis left and Enzo'd us, but I don't want that to happen. I think, you know, to me, I want a lot of... I'm not going to say he is the face of the NWA to me, because obviously I would not say he's the figurehead, though I don't think we have a figurehead yet. Anyways, but, you know, how would he be as a figurehead? Yeah, it's pretty much going to be Cody, I think. If poor gimmick, not currently a babyface, slightly struggles to play a babyface, extremely over. But to me, like, he represents the NWA, like the essence of it. You know, he is, before my involvement, he kind of represents a lot of what the real Billy Corgan's NWA is, at least in my eyes. So even if he's not our figurehead, even if he's not our champion, I think he has a very important place in my roster always, and I would hate to see him go. Same way, honestly, Tim Storm and Josephus, like I feel like they're part of the core essence, and I would not want them to leave the show. Though Tim Storm does say he is retiring, but you know, maybe we'll have a role for him. You know, he has charisma, and we always could do something with him. Maybe he'll be willing to stay on as a manager or authority figure or something like that. You know, there's always a role for him. That would be our plan, at least. All right, guys, that was it. That was Resolution. We will be starting up again with Starrcade and probably a very, very different looking NWA. Because now, obviously, Paul Pinky George has control. Billy Corgan does not. And he seems to have a plan to make us money, which might be good. But I would hate to see how he makes that money. Anyways, guys, that was it for me today. Thank you for watching. I will see you again next time.